It's the Sunday after Thanksgiving, and you know what that means. We have to talk about the holiday box office. I'm Paul DeGarabedian, head of marketplace trends for Comscore, and what a week it's been for movie theaters. A 5-day domestic frame of over $290 million propelled by Zootopia 2 and Wicked for Good. What a great result. I mean, look, it was not a record breaker last year. $424.9 million was generated in the same 5-day frame, as powered by the first Wicked, Gladiator 2, and of course Moana 2 last year. But this year was no slouch, and I have to say, to have these PG movies, just these two powerhouses, complementary and additive to each other. I don't think these movies hurt each other's box office. I think they actually helped. And when you look at the numbers, they're pretty incredible. So let's break it down. So according to our Comscore data, this 5-day frame, Zootopia 2 brought in $156 million domestically, and Wicked for Good in the number 2 spot in its second weekend for the 5 days brought in $93 million. So those two movies combined, get this, brought in about $249 million in domestic box office alone. We have to, though, give a shout out to the Zootopia 2 global number, $400 million of which was brought in outside of the US and Canada for a combined $556 million globally over the 5 days for Zootopia 2. Now, of course, Wicked for Good is just a powerhouse as well, closing in on $400 million worldwide. And we also have to make mention of A24's Eternity and Focus Features Hamnet that appealed to awards season aficionados. And so to have these two huge blockbusters leading the charge, and then a really solid mix of films out there, including Now You See Me, Now You Don't, The Running Man, among others. This was just a great time to be a moviegoer, and for audiences to be able around the world to see all these great films means that we're set up for a really strong month of December. Now, year to date, we're currently running only about 1.3% ahead of last year's box office at this same point. So we're about $1.2 billion away from getting to $9 billion for the domestic box office year. But I think we can do it. There's a great lineup of films on the way. We have Five Nights at Freddy's 2, obviously Avatar, Fire and Ash, and SpongeBob, The Search for SquarePants opening on the same day. And then we have a veritable traffic jam on not only December 24th, Christmas Eve, but Christmas Day on Thursday, with about 13 movies opening, at least 3 of those in wide release, including Anaconda, Song Sung Blue, and Marty Supreme. So some really cool movies on the way, a great Thanksgiving for sure, and let's look forward after a pretty quiet month of October, a really stellar final home stretch of the box office year. So that's your Thanksgiving box office wrap up and a look ahead to what's coming out in the coming weeks. I'm Paul DeGarabedian, head of marketplace trends for Comscore, and I'll see you at the holiday box office.